Hello everyone, my name is Micca. So the new iPhone XS and XS Max has been released. Should iPhone XS users care, and for whom is this phone made for? The iPhone XS and XS Max are the new iPhones for this and upcoming year. There is also XR, which hasn't been released yet. Last year, iPhone X started from $1,000, and this year it's no different for the new XS. If you have already owned 10, should you upgrade? Pay $1,000 or even more for the bigger storage or the Max version? Well, let's break this through. From the outside, XS doesn't look different, unless you have the new gold color or spotted the new antennas added on the top and the bottom. Inside, we have slightly better Face ID, which was first introduced on the iPhone X last year. We have new processors, first of a kind with 7nm technology, but to be honest, I have not experienced a drastic improvement in terms of speed. In addition, we have 4GB of RAM, which makes iPhone XS and XS Max to be able to keep more apps in the background. iOS 12 works great on the new iPhone XS. Of course, it is the newest model that Apple would make sure to support the best out of all older models. But the same iOS 12 works just as great as on iPhone X or even the older models. For those who don't know, iOS 12 added new Measure app that lets you measure distance in real life through camera's AR kit. It finally added new group notifications, a long-awaited feature that existed before on Androids. We also have Memojis on iPhone X, XS and XR. To sum up, I highly recommend to install iOS 12 if your phone is eligible. The biggest improvement in this new model is the camera. Now we have stereo audio recording, much more clearer slow motion, the photos have smart HDR, bigger field of view, and the portrait mode now supports a feature that lets you adjust the blur. To be honest, I think Apple could have enabled the latter on iPhone X or even 8 Plus, but they made it exclusive for the new models. For the camera comparison, I have taken a few photos and video samples for you from iPhone X and XS side by side. Let's have a look. As you may have noticed, XS does not always take the better shot, in my opinion, but overall it is improved, especially with higher dynamic range. But are these improvements enough to justify changing 10 to XS? What can I say about XS Max? Well, it's exactly the same, in terms of internals, with bigger screen and bigger battery, of course. The rest is exactly the same. Ah yes, and it's a bit louder as well. If you buy XS Max from Hong Kong or Chinese Apple stores, you would also get a dual SIM support, which already exists as an eSIM for the rest of the models. A dual SIM variant is good, and I would love to see Apple to make it available worldwide, as well as for the smaller XS models. This year Apple disappointed me, not in terms of iPhones and them being boring to me, but in a sense that they no longer put headphone jack adapter in the box, which they did last year, and they also charge you an extra for fast charging. This is a wrong decision and simply unacceptable. No matter how big of a fan I may be, I cannot close my eyes to such an anti-consumer practices. Well, that's it. What we learned from this video is that if you have iPhone X, then I don't see a reason to buy XS. Yes, the camera is slightly better, it's a bit faster, but if you're upgrading from 7 or 8, then have a look at 10, because the price of iPhone X is decreasing. If you have one of the Plus models, then maybe you can consider buying XS Max, as the footprint of that phone is essentially same as yours, but you're getting a bigger screen and a newer phone. And the last thing I would like to mention is that if you have bought the new XS, then please check your charging. If you plug in while the phone is resting and it does not charge, then either wait for the software update to fix it or return where you bought it from. It may be a software or hardware issue, but nobody really knows for sure. If I use the new iPhone XS as my daily phone for the upcoming months, rest assured I'll make another video in few months, sharing my experience. But this is it. It has been Micca, and I am Londonian. See you next time.